It's like, Big Bear, you won't understand God's law unless you read this one book. It's like, or a series of horrific events and holding my ground for many, many decades. I'm a Canadian bear. We will make it through the winter. Yes, you will. They don't have anything on you. Even the things that make you angry, like Trudeau not giving money to vets, that could save vets' lives. You don't know. It's about enjoying your day, crushing, morality, thankfulness. Whatever makes you resentful and feel like someone's doing something to you is bad. Trudeau not like giving all this money to like foreign perverts and not vets. You don't know the result of that. The way to raise up your fellow man is to make that vet laugh. Make that vet, feel good about tomorrow. Trudeau's money doesn't help the vet. I've known vets that their money they get from the government makes them buy scratch-off tickets and heroin. Money as a tool is not that powerful. It's like, unless you accept it, like so many Canadians are just like, we will not make it through the winter. This Trudeau, this embarrassment, he's saying now that it's humankind, not mankind. It's so humiliating. You're not defined by Justin freaking Trudeau. Mock it, point at it, go like, oh, look at Trudeau. The titles of man are a trick. What, because you're Canadian and he's the leader of Canada, that means that he's representing you? On what planet? That's like saying science tells me what my eyes see. Justin Trudeau is an MK Ultra'd out, freaky sodomite, whose dad was also an MK Ultra'd out, freaky sodomite who let the Cuban dictator plow his wife and make little Justin. Now all Justin wants to do is dress up with all these weird hats and just humiliate himself and do whatever he's told for the globalist agenda. And if that makes you feel sad and out of control, you aren't paying attention. That vet does not need Trudeau's money. Well, you don't know, Big Bear. This vet, unless he gets this type of care, you don't know that medical care may be killing him. What, a certain type of medicine that's super expensive that for his PTSD, what is it, opioid based? You don't know. Evil people don't seem to really help people. Have you noticed that? Taking care of your vets is elevating their spirits. Crush. Show that you can be have a crazy life and just claw your way out of it. Laughter. Health. Say true things. It's healing as fuck. Putting your future and your emotions into Justin Trudeau's pen as he tries to write laws of who gets money, that's on you, Canada. And until you see that, you will not make it through the winter. But if I don't wear the mask, how will the bankers relate to me? Exactly. Slay wizards or become collateral damage. Right, and the best way to slay wizards is realize they don't have power of you, and in a funny way, point out their spells about how sodomy-driven they are. Thank you. My ortho was trying to tell me what I'm seeing. I'm like, I'm the one behind the eyes. Right. Is Amy taking any pregnancy supplements? Well, we eat very healthy. What planet are you on? If I don't wear the mask. Right. Yes, but his love. All right. Evil people pretend to help as a disguise to allow them to harm you. Yes. The poison is the thing that you've accepted that they said is medicine. That's how plagues actually function. That's how it works, because the deal Satan has with God is you have to beg for it, for the poison. It's so weird and twisted, but also so obvious and so easy to beat. It's like, if I don't have healthcare, how will I not get my pills, my precious pills? It's like, dude, it's like me. If I'm not on Twitter, how am I supposed to be a comedian? If I'm not on Facebook, if I can't go to comedy clubs, how am I supposed to be a comedian? If I'm not on YouTube, how am I supposed to make money and be a comedian? Dude, does it appear like I'm failing? Dude, so many people are under the spell that they need this dumb thing to be a comedian. The comedy, the reason I'm so passionate about this is because I've learned this from a lot of pain. It's like, until you face that, okay, you can take away my ability to be a comedian, I'm going to still be funny. That's the test. You have to be able to burn the title. It's like, and then you get to see that they can't own funny. They can't own comedy. They can't own observations. It's like having a Twitter and Facebook account is not how you can be funny. It's the same with money itself or governments or these people. You know, it's like if we don't get rid of Justin Trudeau, how will we ever? It's the same spell as comedians being like, oh, if I don't have an agent, how am I supposed to be a comedian? I beat that. That was one of my first things I beat. Self-produced, a special, crushing. Okay, well, if I can't tour in comedy clubs because of the shame mobs, these damn SJWs, how am I supposed to be a comedian? Okay, we beat that. Warehouses, base theater owners, crushing. If I don't have social media, how am I supposed to promote to the people? Dude, P.O. Box. If I don't have PayPal, how am I supposed to send P.O. Box? And then all the new competitors are coming out. Because when there is an actual market, people will step in. There is no market because everyone's a pussy. If enough people go, you know what? I don't need PayPal. I got a P.O. Box. Keep coming at me. I'll burn my own fields before I say that Caitlyn Jenner is a beautiful woman. And then eventually, the fact that that's what you want and that there is actually a market for it, that will start to emerge. It just takes time. That's why it functions outside of time. You have to be willing to go without these things because you're so into what you claim to love. You know how many of these people say that they're all about free speech, but they won't say the word nigger? Sorry out there for the people that I said I wasn't going to swear, but this is a point I need to make. They're like, we need the First Amendment, social media censorship, tech censorship, Silicon Valley is censoring me. I mean the N-word. But they won't say a word. Why? Now, I'm not talking about being racist. I'm not talking about being vulgar. People that say other words, but they won't say that word. Because they're complying. The threat to free speech has nothing to do with Silicon Valley, has nothing to do with a piece of paper. Free speech itself is a spell, but like the threat to your ability to speak truth is how much do you care? Are you willing to give up 1 week's pay? Are you willing to give up being invited to movie stars' birthday parties? Are you willing to give up the convenience of social media? Are you willing to give up having everybody be super pumped to see you at Thanksgiving? Do you know how many people won't pass just that? Are you willing to allow people to constantly threaten you and mock your family publicly? Are you like, do you actually care or do you just say words? And that is the difference. It's not about Christian or non-Christian or white, blah, blah, blah. It's about when you say you love comedy, when you say you'll fight, free speech, when you say these things, will you do it? If you're willing to give up nothing in the short term, it means you don't really love it. It means it means that it's all been bullshit. So what's the point of speaking? You're not conveying your word? Like what your words don't mean what you think? Like you have to earn beauty, form, actual respect. Like when I go into a place where I now perform, because I can do comedy in an airport hangar just as easy as I could a theater. It doesn't matter because the venue isn't what makes comedy. The comedy is. And for people to give up that in order to get a more convenient venue means they didn't even love the comedy. That's why they're not even that good at it. That's why it doesn't elevate people. That's why it makes people feel weird and gross. Makes people angry. Right? That's the fight. And think about how many people are just not even capable of any material short-term tension or facing fears because they don't know what to really fear. And that's to have no real passion, no truth. What you say doesn't really matter. You're saying it for attention. You just want to fit in. You're not willing to do anything for what you say. And then that's hell. That's what hell is. And this is why I'm here, because you're a man of your own words. Right. That's why people put up with all the different things I say. Does anyone not know that? How come thousands of people of all different backgrounds will show up when I say things that seemingly trigger the hell out of everybody? Because there's an indescribable calm and acceptance to knowing that the thing someone says is what they believe. You can be in a hall of mirrors all day long and just be like, never be challenged. The world's just a spinning ball. That makes it. When I say the world isn't a spinning ball, you might get mad. You might think I'm an idiot. You might but you're not going to leave, because how valuable is it to have someone who says what they believe? Because you know the cost. You know the shame. You know the financial cost. You know all of it. You know the cost. someone as attacked as me to give my enemies that weapon, you know the cost. That's why there's so few of me. Because so many people just go, I don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with what? You don't want to deal with that? Like reality? You don't want to deal with what you believe? So what happens then? You just never talk about it? Which is okay in certain positions. Or do you lie and you say the world's a spinning ball even though you don't believe that? Doesn't matter if it really is or not. It's what do you believe? And then here's the next level. Do you then start mocking the people who say it's flat? Because you want to fit in so much. You understand? This is when you lose your soul, guys. You can get it better. You're never without soul, but like this is the path of losing your soul. It's not a shadowy guy with a contract. So you start you start thinking the world really isn't a spinning ball. You've been, but you don't want to deal with it. You don't want your family to deal with it. You justify it on a few levels. My family, all these dudes are always my family. It's one thing if it's like going to prison, putting people in real, like legitimate danger, but it's like your family needs a strong man. All right. So my family, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to put up with all of it. I'm just trying to like long term, I need my optics. So you just say, you don't talk about it. If someone wants to talk about foot, I don't want to talk about that. That's all just, and then they go, so you think, this is how they always test you. They go, so you don't believe it's a spinning ball? They always make you do it. You can't just leave it out. They always make you, they're like, so why are you leaving that out? Are you saying that, abortion, any of it? Let's go, so you think the earth isn't a spinning ball? And then you go, no, I mean, obviously it's a spinning ball. I was just saying that some of these videos are okay. It's like, oh, but you know it's a spinning ball, right? Yes. So now you're lying because of social shame, right? And then a few months later, you're in a situation where someone's like, oh, these flat earthers, what a bunch of idiots. And you're like, hey, you know what? They kind of make some... You don't think flat earthers are stupid? Oh, no, you're right. They're definitely stupid people. You're dust. That's the path of the wicked. Now, being just afraid and just confused and not dealing with stuff is one thing. When you start mocking what you know is true to fit in, when you make someone else's life harder, that's speaking truth in the face of endless shame mobs, it's coming back, man. You took the wrong ticket. Because all the spells create a world in which you want to stay in and that you want to be accepted by. And you're doing the smart thing. You can tell yourself anything you want. You can tell yourself anything you want. The minute you don't have enough respect and love for actual truth, the minute you don't have enough respect and love for other people making tons of mistakes and living in a world of lies, it's only a short amount of time until you're just empty. And empty people get animated by evil. It's not their plan. These things aren't like the person that's doing all this, it's not their plan. The conspiracy isn't their plan. They're just cogs. They just have to carry it out. They just have to do the dirty work. They're the ones that have to go on national television, look at people in the eye and say killing a 40-week unborn baby is good. We should all celebrate. That all starts with the first one. And it's a definitive difference. The minute you start speaking what you know is not true, and then when you start shaming and attacking the people that you know are actually holding the line, your door is open and Satan is going to start pumping you right in the anus. Fact. That's a fact. I'm not saying to wake people up in the dentist chair if you're a dentist. That's not what I'm saying. Every man and profession has a different scenario like that. Mine is that because what I do is I talk a few hours every day. I'm funny. Nothing's off limits. No topic too taboo. That's what people come here for. So why would I avoid that one? And why would I lie? Only reason is nonsense. If you're like a dentist and you start realizing that fluoride makes people stupid, if you push it that it's really good for their teeth because you get a cut of the fluoride, that's the moment. And then when you start, you can still be a dentist. If someone wants fluoride, they can use fluoride. But when you start like pushing it a little, and you can justify, I got to pay Sydney's medical bills. And then you start mocking the people that go against, those tinfoil hat guys, because they start threatening your position to be able to profit from a lie. Now you're a henchman. Now you're in Satan's army. You don't even know it. You think in your mind you're crushing. You're such a smart boy. You're seeing the optics. You're seeing that, like, if you don't do, it would be really bad for your business. You don't fear God enough. You fear the grabble more than God, and that's why you're making the mistake. Because if you go off the path, if you accept what you know is poisonous, I'm not saying that you're like have to evangelize. I'm not saying that you have to make it so people can't have. I'm just using that as an example. And then you start mocking the very people doing what you know to be true because you're trying to keep your status and your money flow. Dude, it doesn't hurt the other people. It hurts you. My dentist is not woke. Right, that's fine. If he doesn't know, you understand? That's why it has to do with when you see it, do you look away? It's like you could be pushing fluoride down people's throats. And there's probably dentists right now looking at me like, he doesn't understand fluoride. I love the Big Bear. I love the gravy. But that guy's still off the hook. He can still be pumping fluoride into people. You understand that it's not about that. It's about rejection of what you know to be true. That's why you can forgive yourself. You can forgive others. That's why enough with the purity spiral bullshit. It's like, if you don't see fluoride, no. And the battle is with yourself. Because when you accept that, then what do? Why not just have a little something going on with the receptionist? She's pretty, and your wife doesn't seem to want to have as much sex as she used to. And you know what? It would probably hurt her feelings if you told her. You understand? The spin, spin, spin. Once you open that door, once you say, I can realign what truth is. You know that you took a vow to not have sex with another woman. You know you shouldn't have sex with a woman at your job. But now that you've done the fluoride thing, why not? It's like, and then you justify. You say, listen, I'm a man. I'm not going to tell my wife to spare her feelings. And it's like this girl at the office. She's always looking at me. Sure, you're going to say status. I'm using our financial arrangement to benefit me sexually. It's so bad. But you know what? That's the way it should. Like, women are attracted to men with status. And by God, why get all that? It means I'm smart. Why don't I deserve it? I work a hard dentist. And then you start banging that chick, right? Then she gets pregnant. It would be wrong to not encourage her to take care of it because that will hurt your wife. And you don't want her to be a single mom. And onward and until you are in hell. And it's not because you banged a secretary. It's not because you pushed fluoride. It's not because you encouraged an abortion. It's because you knew it was wrong. You knew that you were starting to become God. You were trying, or you thought you were God. You were trying to redefine truth. That's why people can do things and you're not, how dare you? Dude, and you'd be surprised how many people have accepted that ticket. And that ticket, there's nowhere good. None. And when you start, think about how many of the people pushing the lies mock people like me endlessly. How many of these comics know that this shit isn't funny? How many of them know that they only sell scripts if they push interracial gay marriages and stuff? We all know it. It's one thing if they just keep quiet. It's another thing if they openly come at me. Why do you think I went at them so hard? It's so dark. Oh, I don't condone Owen Benjamin. Oh, you mean the white supremacy? I know what they know. I know they know that I'm funny and that they complain about the same things that I did in the backstage and comedy clubs. You don't think I know that they all hate PC culture? And they all get annoyed that there's not enough white leads, that everybody's hiring black people in the sitcoms. And it's real hard as a white guy. So I know. And then the same people will publicly condemn me. Do you think that hurts me, bitch? No. No. Because I know who your master is now. I know what road you're on. And that's why you're not funny no more. That's why the very thing you were trying to cling on to, Owen, if I don't attack Owen, then I won't, they know we're friends, so I have to keep my stance, because if not, I can't be a good comedian. Oh, guess what the number one quality in comedian is? Truth. What's number two? Balls. And so when they come at me for doing what see, that's the difference between talking and doing. And I'm sick of these talkers. I'm not talking about violence. I'm not talking about we must stand up. No, just basically do what you think. All those Hollywood people, I know and they know that they don't see anything wrong with words. They know PC culture is ruining comedy. They know affirmative action is nonsense. They know. So why would they attack me? Why would they stab me in the back? Guess what? They're stabbing themselves in the back. It has nothing to do with me. I was the one who got out of the trap. Fear God, not the material. Because look at where they are now. It only gets better. It only gets more profoundly true. Look at Whitney Cummings, right? She, and then people are like, why do you have to go after people? Be above it, Big Bear. Be above it. No. You may not know what I know. You may not know what all this is. Yeah, sometimes they can be petty and intense. I get it. But like, it was also a test to me. Like, their status. It's like, am I just going to be quiet? No, I'm gonna mock them in a way that takes a little bite out of them. Candleface Cummings. Yeah, I know I was going to wrap it up. This is an important thing to tell the young. Okay, so she thinks she's crushing, right? Because she's dancing with the truth. She can rewrite it, right? Look at her now. She's like 40 with no kids, no husband. Yeah, she might have 80 mil in the bank. She's a mess. Probably on all kinds of pills. She's like horses are the only animals that understand her. She's like having to clean their penises, and she thinks it's noble because she now doesn't know what noble means. Wondering why she's always anxious, always depressed. The jokes aren't kicking anymore. What's going on? And then she doesn't know who to blame. Is it this person? The made up nonsense. The patriarchy. Sexism. Dude, hell, you're in hell. Cummings is a wreck, right? But I saw the whole thing. I saw the steps. You want to sell that script? You got to play ball. If I was a part of any joke or script that pushed an evil agenda, I promise on my children's lives, I thought it was funny and I didn't see the big picture of the global grabble. I was like, this is great. The people will laugh. This will help the people. I used to think marriage was a scam. Watching like my bumbling gamma dad with my good mom, I was like, it sounds like a bit of a trap. It's like these people have been operating for so many years now, just saying, what do they want me to write? And it's one thing if you don't care, like interracial stuff or any of that stuff. Like I didn't understand demographic pushing and breaking family, none of that. It's another thing if and the trans kid thing was the line in the sand. Nobody thinks that's good. Nobody. If you put a trans kid in a script to normalize it, you put pedophilia in a script to normalize it, you accept evil. And you don't understand how obvious it is to everybody else. You don't understand that you're not tricking anybody. You know what I'm saying? Look at Joe the Toe Rogan. He still thinks he's a leader of men. Why don't you run your tweets by me first? You got to play ball, buddy. You got to be like me. You got to be a midget who kicks a bag. Look at all the money I have. How do you think his life's going? How do you think he wakes up excited to do a 2.5-hour podcast for some lemons? No. He might make millions of dollars. I may make some lemons. But guess what? I promise you I'm more excited about mine. I promise you every day, I'm like, even when I'm going to take a day off, I'm like, man, I really want to just ladle the gravy. He could be making $50 million a year interviewing Buzz Aldrin about his time on the moon. I wonder why there's something inside him that just isn't excited about it. It's almost like a chore. It's almost like sometimes he's like zones out and needs to be on drugs to enjoy himself. Why? because it's not real. Because when you've sold out that much and you wonder why you're not excited to endlessly talk more about DMT and the moon landing like it's real, why is your life going badly? How come all that money and all the power and all the DMT doesn't seem to give you gratitude? You're not grateful. You don't feel like you're crushing. Why? Because you took the ticket. And if you don't start seeing these patterns as obvious truth and proof of God, I don't understand you. It's like, you can't prove God, it's just a book. Okay, let's analyze your life and every life you've ever seen. Let's analyze the fractal reality of this world. Let's take every alternative explanation. Let's logically deduce these things and think about what's more likely. All right, I gotta go. I'm so fired up right now. So fired up. I gotta stop preaching now. I'm on your vibe, BB, 100%. Dude, we're all on this vibe. We're all crushing right now. We're all crushing. Rogan acts like he's stuck in a day-to-day office job pushing papers. Dude, he looks like a dude who's been pumped and drained. Just pumped and like not a dude having a good time. He's looking like not another one of these really famous people that I used to think was interesting until I knew they were liars. Joe Rogan hates himself because he knows he's a liar. Right, and it's like, and I'm going to just keep making fun of him because I can. All the comics that don't make fun of him, it's because it's power. Want to know how freeing it is to not be under the thumb of him at the Comedy Store? You know how many comics hate him and think he's a homo and a little thumb? And they can't say anything because Joe has power over them because they've accepted lies to get status at the Comedy Store. What kind of comedian would I be if with my independence, with my chickens and goats and my own website and my own independent audience that is not looking at me because of my credits, what kind of man would I be if I didn't speak on behalf of all the comedians in Los Angeles and say, Joe Rogan's a greasy little homo who looks like a thumb and his jokes aren't funny and he thinks he's a ninja and he's a drug-addicted little sodomite. Because guess what? A lot of people want to say that can't because they want stage time at the store and they don't want Joe to blackball them. Well, guess what? You can't blackball me anymore. Your black balls don't work when I don't look at your balls. Do you see what freedom really is? Do you see what freedom to be truthful and to do your job well really is? How many themes all these comedians could have come up with or done, all the art they could have done. How many memes and sketches and all the stand-up that we lost. It's not their skill level, it's because they're little bitches that didn't fear God. Do you see my advantage now? My advantage is my morality. It's not my cutthroat nature. It's not my connections, not my money. It's the fact that I said being funny and not messing with other people's heads and not selling out little kids is more important than what they offered. And so who gets to mock Rogan now? Me. I don't need his show. I don't need anything he has. I genuinely liked him. When I was on his show, unlike a lot of these other comedians, I genuinely thought he was a truth teller. I genuinely thought he was guiding men towards the right direction of masculinity. I was wrong, but at no time was I using him, unlike everyone else in his life. All the other comedians on there are like, hey, Joe, dude, no one can respect him at this point. He's a thumb and he's been pumped. And so that's the freedom of it. The freedom of it is when I was friends with movie stars, I liked them. I wasn't like, oh, if I'm close to this guy, blah, blah. And that's the key to all of it. And it's like, if your goal is just to attain some little grabbly status thing, no, your goal is to be able to see and think and speak so clearly that you don't have fear, because whatever grabble is coming in the future, you know you'll see it a mile away. All the fear comes from blinders. It's like, oh, the grass is high. Where's the lion? I'm like, there's no grass. Whatever's coming, we'll be able to see years ahead of schedule. These big events, everyone's so terrified of, oh, Marshall, it's all about the dude. You get so much warning, and then the people act like there was no warning. Oh, how would I know that Los Angeles could become really unhealthy? Well, I don't know. If you weren't just riddled with lies and spells, you would have seen it 10 years ago. You would have seen it in the creation of the damn city. Thumbs down. All right, I can't keep ranting. This is getting absurd. But go BB. Yeah, one of the reasons I haven't landed the plane yet is this chat has been completely like, this is my favorite stream. This is exactly right. So stream crush. Yeah, that's the only reason I just was like, I just kept going because you guys seem to enjoy the message. But yeah, you don't want to be trapped in nonsense, and a lot of good people can be trapped in nonsense. It's not all just wicked. It's not just like but you get what I'm saying. Just lower the fear. Lower the fear and commit to beauty and what you know is good. It's not scary because it doesn't actually threaten your careers and families and stuff. Like the only reason I can be a comedian is because I did that. All these other people can't be comedians anymore. And the thing they were holding on to, this Hollywood structure, no one watches anymore. There's no more money. Like it's only going to Netflix agenda, and it's like midget, trans, black. They held on to like this life raft that sank. You've been so funny, BB. Much love. Oh, cool. So you guys like the stream? The stream was funny. Great stream ever on DLive. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Bricklayer Bear. Because it's all about being funny. The minute I start getting preachy, tell me, and I can tell if you're a gamma messing with me. Like the minute I start being like, this is what God is. Like seriously. Tell me, because I just don't want to be that guy. It's all about being funny. Stay in your lane. I'm a comedian. But the passion, the aggression are straight from the heart. Yeah, but it's also triumphant. It's not like I'm really angry about like a fear. It's like I'm pumped. BB, you make me feel like we're all kids in the playground. Because we are. We are. All right. I can't possibly express my gratitude. All right. Love you guys. Unauthorized.tv. Starting March, it'll be way more streamlined like it was before. Thanks for not leaving. I know some people did, and I understand. But please keep supporting there. P.O. Box 727, Gig Harbor, Washington, 98335. If you want to send some gravel for my babble. Unbearablesmerchandise.com. And subscribe to all the Clips channels that mirror this stream, because it's not about withholding the gravy. It's not what Unauthorized is about. I want you to always be able to hear it. Also, why didn't they laugh at iTunes? And enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy the spells. Enjoy the grabblers, because you're not trapped. Even if you think you are, even if you're scared of it, you're not trapped until you start playing God. If you're just scared, just let it go. You're good. We're all good. All right. Much love.